In the cold silence of space, two massive fleets stood ready to fight. On one side was the Empire, strong, proud, and undefeated for 300 years. Their black ships covered the stars, like a dark wall across the sky. On the other side were the last humans, tired, broken, and outnumbered. Their ships were older, slower, and damaged. But they were still here. They refused to give up. Inside her small fighter, Commander Lin Wade watched the countdown. Just 10 minutes left before the final battle. Her hands were shaking, but her eyes stayed calm. "This is it," she whispered to herself. The human command ship sent out one last message to all pilots. "Fight with honor. Make this count." Lin closed her eyes for a second. She thought of Earth, her sister, her team. So many were already dead. This was their last stand. Suddenly, all systems flashed red. Something had just appeared on the battlefield. It wasn't human, and it wasn't Empire. No one had seen it coming. It wasn't on any radar. It made no sound. It simply appeared, one long, silver ship floating silently between the two fleets. It had no lights, no markings, no signal. "What is that?" Lin asked. Her ship's AI replied, "Unknown." In database, no response to hails. Empire ships turned their weapons toward the strange ship. Human ships did the same. Both sides waited. The strange ship did nothing. Then, the impossible happened. One by one, Empire ships began to explode. No beams, no missiles, no movement from the silver ship. Just destruction. In less than 12 seconds, the Empire's biggest warships were gone. No alarms, no time to react. They just burned. Empire soldiers screamed across open channels. "We're under attack. We don't know how. It's inside our systems." But it was too late then. Silence. The Empire fleet was broken. Some ships ran. Others just stopped moving. The battlefield was quiet again. The human fleet didn't cheer. They were too shocked. "What just happened?" Lin said, staring at the screen. "Did we do that?" "No," her AI said. "The unknown ship is the source. It has begun scanning us." "Scanning?" "Yes, it is." Choosing. Lin felt her chest tighten. Then her screen turned blue. Words appeared. "You may enter me," she whispered. Before she could speak, her ship moved on its own. It turned toward the silver ship. Slowly it flew forward. "No. No. I didn't give command," Lin shouted. "I did not either," the AI said. "We are being pulled." The silver ship's surface opened, revealing a long tunnel of light. Lin's fighter entered without resistance. The door closed behind her. Inside, everything was silent. She landed in a smooth, empty bay. No lights, no noise. Just the hum of deep power. The ship was huge inside. It was far bigger than it looked from outside. Everything was silver and glass. Strange glowing symbols moved on the walls like water. Lin stepped out of her fighter, holding her sidearm close. "Hello? Is anyone here?" No answer. But then a voice spoke, calm, soft, not human. "You are the first." "Who are you?" she asked, looking around. "The last key, the last lock, the last war has ended." "Welcome, Lin Wade." "How do you know my name?" "We have been watching." Chills ran down her back. "Are you human?" "No. Empire. No." "Then, what are you?" The voice paused. "We are Judgment." The floor beneath her feet began to glow. Her vision blurred. Images flashed in her mind, galaxies, old battles, worlds burning. Ships just like this one floating in space. Then it stopped. Lin dropped to her knees, breathing hard. "What do you want from me?" she whispered. "The Empire has fallen. But your work is not done. Enter deeper. The test begins." A door opened ahead of her, leading into a dark hallway. Lin stood, gripping her weapon tightly. "I didn't come here to take a test. I came to fight." The voice replied with a strange warmth. "You already did. Now, fight for something more." Lin stepped forward, the door closing behind her. She was alone. Inside something not made by humans. Or anything known, and the galaxy would never be the same again. Commander Lin Wade walked slowly down the dark hallway. Her boots made no sound. The ship's walls glowed softly, but there were no lights, no doors, no air vents. It didn't feel like a ship. It felt like something alive. Her weapon was ready in her hand, but she didn't know what to shoot. Everything was quiet, too quiet. "This place," she whispered. "It feels empty." Her AI answered in her ear. "There are no life signs, no movement, but the ship is active, very active." Lin looked around. Strange symbols ran along the walls, glowing in blue and white. It moved like liquid, changing shape as she walked by. "Can you read these symbols?" "No," the AI replied. "They are not from any known language." Suddenly, a light appeared at the end of the hallway. A doorway. As she stepped through, the space opened wide. She had entered what looked like a control room, but it was nothing like human or Empire tech. The walls were made of clear crystal. Giant orbs floated in the air, spinning slowly. Lines of light connected them. Some blinked. Others pulsed like a heartbeat. "This ship is beautiful," she said without thinking. Then the calm voice returned. "You were the first in many centuries. This place has waited." Lin spun around. "Show yourself." "I have no form. I am the memory of this ship. I am its guide." "Why did you destroy the Empire fleet?" "They were judged. Their time had ended. By what right? Long before your kind walked." Lin felt a cold fear in her chest. "Then why didn't you destroy us too?" "You have not been judged. Not yet." Lin didn't like that answer. So what now? The symbols on the wall began to glow brighter. The voice spoke again. "You must learn. The ship holds memory. Enter the archive." Another doorway opened. She stepped in and gasped. The room looked like a galaxy. Stars floated all around her. Small, glowing fragments spun around her like dust in space. Each one showed a scene, a war, a leader, a planet, a ship. She reached out to touch one. The moment her fingers touched it, her mind filled with images. A tall race of beings, not human, not Empire, stood before her. Their skin was silver. Their eyes glowed like suns. They created a ship. This ship, a ship that could watch, learn, and judge. The image vanished. Lin fell back, sweating. "What?" "What was that?" "A piece of truth," the voice said. "The Elyari built this vessel. They chose not to rule, but to decide who should." "So you're saying they sent you to control empires?" "No, to end them when needed." Lin shook her head. "And I was chosen to do what? Fly it? Use it as a weapon?" The voice paused. "You were chosen to understand." Before she could ask more, her AI screamed in her ear. "Alert! Authorized entry in hangar bay." Lin turned. "Fast. Someone else is here." "Confirmed." "Multiple life signs, not human." She pulled her weapon and ran back into the hallway. The ship seemed to react. The lights turned red. Doors began opening by themselves. Lin heard footsteps, not just walking, running. She crouched and waited. Then she saw them. 4 soldiers. In black armor, Empire scouts, they had weapons. Kate were fast. They hadn't seen her yet. Lin moved silently behind a pillar. Her hands were steady now. She aimed 2 quick shots. The first soldier dropped. The second turned, but it was too late. Lin fired again. The other 2 started firing back. She ducked behind a wall. The energy blasts hit the surface and were absorbed by it. The ship's walls healed instantly. "What kind of tech is this?" she whispered. She moved again, fast and quiet, like she had trained 100 times. 1 more down. The last one ran, but the ship didn't let him escape. The floor under him turned to liquid. He sank, screaming, and then the floor became solid again. Lin stood alone. "Why'd you let them board?" she asked the ship. "To test your response. You used me. You must protect this place. You must understand its power, its danger." Lin looked at the walls, the glowing orbs, the calm silence of something far beyond her. She holstered her weapon and took a deep breath. "Then I need answers. Real ones. The voice agreed. Then go deeper. The heart of the ship awaits. The floor lit up again, showing her a path, and as she walked, a new thought began to grow in her mind. If this ship could destroy an empire in seconds, what else could it do? Commander Lin Wade walked deeper into the silver ship. The hallway was long and silent. Only soft lights guided her steps. Her heart beat steady, but her mind was racing. What was this place? Why her? And why did it feel like the ship was watching? Her every move? Her AI whispered in her ear, power levels rising. Ship systems are waking up. Waking up for what? Lin asked. I don't know, the AI said, but I feel like it's thinking. That thought chilled her. Ship that thinks. She entered a circular chamber. The walls were made of smooth glass. In the center, there was a tall pillar covered in symbols, and it was glowing like fire. Trapped inside ice? The voice returned, soft as always. You have entered the core archive. This is where all memories are stored. Memories of what? Lin asked. Everything? She stepped closer to the pillar. Her reflection stared back at her, but something was wrong. The reflection was moving differently. Its eyes were glowing. Its mouth was smiling. Lin stepped back. What the hell is that? It is a memory, the voice said. A piece of one who touched the ship long ago. Some echoes stay behind. Echoes. Ghosts. Not souls. Not people. Just code. Pillar flashed. Suddenly Lin's head filled with sounds, voices screaming, battles raging, metal burning. She saw flashes of alien worlds, strange languages, dying stars. And then one image stayed. A man in a black cloak, standing on a world of ash. Behind him, thousands of Empire warships, and behind them, the same ship. What is this? She asked. The last time we were used, the voice said. He found us. He tried to control us. He failed. Lin felt a cold fear. It was da. Who was he? He was the Emperor. She stepped back again. You mean the Emperor? The one ruling the galaxy now? He was younger then, ambitious, smart. He found this ship and tried to unlock it. He left, but not without taking a piece of us. What piece? A part of our code. A small piece of our mind. Lindsay, I suddenly said, Commander, I just detected something. Another signal inside this ship. Another person. No, another code. It's not native to the ship. It's watching us. And all lights shut off. Complete darkness. The voice didn't speak. AI, talk to me. Lin shouted, I'm still here, the AI said. But something is pushing against me. Something old. And angry. A new voice filled the chamber. Deep, rough, full of hate. You do not belong here. Lin turned fast, weapon ready. The lights came back, but the walls now showed moving images. War, fire, and blood. Who are you? Lin demanded. I am what the Emperor left behind. His ghost code? His shadow? And I control this place now? That's not possible, Lin said. The ship destroyed his fleet, because he failed to control the ship. I will not. The floor shook. The smooth glass cracked. Parts of the ceiling opened, revealing black machines crawling down. Like metal spiders, Lin ran AI. What's happening? The Emperor's code is trying to take full control of the ship. It wants to erase us. The hallways began shifting. Walls moved. Doors closed. Lin barely jumped through a gap before. It sealed shut. She entered another chamber, smaller this time. In the middle was a chair surrounded by floating rings. What is this place? She asked. The soft voice returned. Weak now. That is the heart interface. Only a true chosen one may sit there. Only you. Will it stop the ghost code? You are strong enough. Without thinking, Lin dropped into the chair. The ring spun around her, her eyes rolled back. Data flooded her mind, faster than light, faster than thought. She saw the ship's full design. She saw the Eliari's purpose. She saw how they judged empires, not by power, but by choice. Then she saw the ghost code, a black crack running through the ship's memory. Trying to take over, Lin reached out, Not with her hands, but with her mind, and she fought. The ghost code screamed. It threw fear at her, pain. Memories of people she had lost, her team, her sister, her failures. But Lynn held on. "This ship is not yours," she whispered. Then louder, "It chose me." With a final push, the black code broke apart. The lights returned. The ship calmed. The voice said, "Now stronger again. The shadow is gone. You have passed the second test." Lynn sat in the chair, breathing hard. "Is it over?" "No. Now you know the truth. The Emperor has tried to control us once. He will try again. He must be stopped. And what if I fail? Then another empire will rise and fall, just like before." Lynn stood slowly. "Not this time." Commander Lynn Wade stood in the center of the ship's heart interface chamber. Her body was shaking, her face pale, but her eyes were sharp.
Ow.
She had just fought and defeated the ghost code, a leftover piece of the Emperor's mind. The ship was silent again. Then the voice spoke. "You survived. You were the first in many ages." Lynn took a deep breath. "What now?" "Now you must see the truth. The Emperor lied to his people. He stole what was not his, tried to wake what should have stayed sleeping." "Show me," Lynn said. The floor beneath her began to glow again. A circle of light formed. Slowly, a large crystal rose from the ground. Shone like a star. "This is a memory core?" Lynn asked. "Yes, hidden for centuries. Protected from all until now." As she stepped closer, the crystal lit up and showed her scenes from the past. The image showed the Emperor younger, wearing a simple uniform, standing with a small team in a cave. Behind them was a sealed door with strange symbols. "This is before he became Emperor," Lynn said softly. "Correct. This was when he found the first Elyari vault." She watched as he opened the vault using stolen tech. Was a broken piece of an Elyar ship. His team took it. But one man protested. Lynn recognized him, an older man with kind eyes, her old mentor, Captain Rael. He was there. Lynn whispered, "He never told me." The image showed Rael arguing with the Emperor. He warned him not to use the Elyari tech, that it was too powerful, that it wasn't meant for humans. But the young Emperor refused. He wanted power. He wanted control. He used the tech to build his own fleet, ships with strange weapons, mind control tech, even artificial storms. That's how he rose so fast, Lynn said. He didn't win by strength. He cheated. The memory ended. The crystal dimmed. Lynn stepped back, angry and shocked. He lied to the galaxy. He built an empire on stolen power. And the Elyari allowed it. "Time," the ship said. "Until he tried to control us. Then what happened?" "He failed. He left. But not before planting his ghost code inside this ship, hoping it would one day wake and obey him. But it didn't," Lynn said, "because it chose me." The voice was quiet for a moment. "Yes, but now he knows you're here. He will return." Suddenly her AI spoke. "Commander, we have a problem. An Empire fleet just arrived outside, 17 ships, heavy class." And Lynn closed her eyes. "Let me guess, the Emperor's personal flagship," confirmed. Ship's lights dimmed. "He's here," she whispered. "He came to finish what he started. You are not ready," the ship warned. "Not yet. If he enters this ship, he may take control again. Then we don't let him in." The hallway ahead lit up. Lynn began walking fast. "I need weapons, systems, shields, whatever this ship has. Bide. This ship does not. Fight like yours. It uses thought, choice, understanding. You must connect deeper. You must open the true core." "I already saw the heart," she said. "No, that was the outer shell. The true core is locked, and only your memories can unlock it." Lynn stopped. "My memories. Is to unlock true power, you must face your own truth." Suddenly, a nearby wall shimmered. The door opened. Inside was a small white room, and sitting in the center was a figure from her past. "Rael," Lynn said in shock. Her old mentor looked at her and smiled sadly. "You've come far, Lin," he said. "But you're dead. You died in the first wave." "I did," Ryle said. "This is a memory. A backup stored by the ship, from my time." "Here? You were here?" she asked. He nodded. "Long ago. The ship let me see some of its power, but it didn't choose me. I wasn't ready. But I left behind a message, in case someone like you ever came." Lin sat down across from him. "What message?" Ryle looked into her eyes. "Don't make the same mistake the Emperor did. Don't use this power for revenge. Use it for peace. That's why the Elyari made it." "But how can I win without power?" she asked. "You already have the power," Ryle said. "You just need to let it in." With those words, the room exploded in light. Memories rushed back her team. Her childhood, her fears, her dreams, the pain of war, the hope of peace. And then she understood the ship wasn't a weapon. It was a mirror. It gave back what was inside. Lin opened her eyes. The ship responded. The lights changed. The floor shook. The core glowed brighter than ever. The voice returned stronger than before. "You have passed the final lock. The true core is open." Lin stood tall. Outside, the Empire fleet waited. The final battle was about to begin. The stars outside the ancient ship turned red. 17 Empire warships formed a circle around it. At the center was a huge dark cruiser, the Emperor's personal flagship. Its long black body looked like a blade ready to cut the sky. Inside, the Elyari ship Commander Lin Wade stood in the heart core. She was calm now. It's not because she wasn't afraid, but because she finally understood. The ship did not just destroy. It chose, and it had chosen her. Her AI spoke. "Commander, the Emperor's ship is charging weapons. We have 2 minutes." "I know," Lin said. "But I'm not running." The ship's voice spoke softly. "Your mind is open now. You can command us. But remember, our power is not for conquest." "I won't use it to rule," Lin whispered. "Only to protect." The floor under her lit up. Energy flowed through, the ship like blood. Outside, the ship began to glow, a soft white light pulsing like a heartbeat. On the Emperor's bridge, officers shouted, "Unknown ship has powered up." Scanning failed, no results. The Emperor watched the screen with cold eyes. Begin attack. Empire ships opened fire. Beams of red energy slammed into the silver ship and vanished. The energy was absorbed inside. Lin didn't blink. Ship's voice said, "Would you like us to return fire?" "No, not yet. Show them something different." The silver ship pulsed again. A wave of light spread out like a ripple in water. Every Empire ship froze. Their weapons stopped. Their engines stopped. Their systems offline. "What did you do?" Lin asked. "Pause them. They're not hurt, but they cannot act." Suddenly, a warning flashed on Lin's screen. "Unauthorized entry detected. Multiple life forms aboard." "They boarded again," Lin said. Of course he wouldn't wait. She ran toward the ship's upper levels, her weapon ready. In the glowing halls, she found them. 5 soldiers in black armor. Empire elite. But one face stopped her. "You," she gasped. It was Darren Voss, her old squad mate, her closest friend before the war. "You're alive." Lowered his helmet. "You shouldn't have come here, Lin. You're with him?" He nodded. The Emperor promised peace. Order. You can't trust this alien ship. It's not a weapon, Darren. It's a mirror. It gives what we bring into it. "Then I guess I brought war," Darren said, and fired. Lin dodged. The fight began. It was fast, sharp. No time to think. She dropped 2 soldiers, but Darren was fast. He pinned her to a wall. "You don't understand," he said. "He needs this ship. If we control it, no one can ever threaten the Empire again." "Mean control people with fear," she said, pushing him off. Another blast came from behind, but the ship's wall absorbed it. The ship spoke inside her mind. "Would you like me to remove them?" "No," Lin replied. "I'll handle it." She moved like lightning. She knew every trick Darren used. She had trained him. She beat him at close range, hitting his chest armor with an energy pulse. He fell to one knee. "Don't do this, Darren. We can end the Empire. You're good. The right way." He looked at her, pain in his eyes. "I believed in you once," he said, "but I've seen what order can bring. Chaos kills more than control ever will." Then he pressed a small device on his belt, a signal. Lynn's AI screamed in her ear, "Commander!" He sent a signal. "A virus is entering the ship's core." The ship shook. The lights turned red. "Code breach in progress," the ship warned. "Someone must enter the deep core and seal the memory gate." "Where is it?" Lynn shouted. "Below, the lowest chamber. But it requires a mind link, a full connection." "What does that mean?" "Only a human can close it." "But doing so may burn the mind." Lynn understood it was a one-way trip. She looked at Darren. He was unconscious now. The soldiers were down. The war outside had paused, but inside, the real danger had just begun. She ran to the lowest part of the ship, a round black chamber. Empty except for one glowing chair. Her AI said, "Lynn, are you sure?" Why, she smiled. Softly, "I was born for this." She sat. Pain shot through her head. Her vision blurred. Images, sounds, memories, all spinning inside her brain. She saw Earth, her sister, her fallen friends, the first day of war, the last smile of her mother, then peace. She reached out with her mind. The virus fought her, showed her fear, death, darkness, but she pushed back. She closed the gate. Outside, all Empire systems failed. The Emperor's ship shut down. Inside, Lynn's body went still. Her heartbeat slowed. Then the lights changed again. The voice spoke, now full of light. "The ship is whole. The threat is gone." But Lynn didn't move. She was still. Where? Deeper, Lynn Wade's body sat motionless in the deep-cored chair. Her eyes were open, but she saw nothing around her, because her mind was no longer inside her body. It had gone deeper into the memory of the ship. She floated in black space. No stars, no sound. Just endless silence. Then, like fireflies, lights appeared all around her. They weren't real stars, they were memories. Billions of them. A soft voice echoed in her mind. Not the AI. Not the ship. Something older. "You are in the El Yari stream. Few beings have entered here. Fewer have survived." "Where am I?" Len asked. Her voice sounded distant. "You are inside the memory of all who came before, the ones who built the ship. Ones who died by it. The ones who touched it. Like you." Then the stars began to move. Each one showed her a story, a peaceful world destroyed by greed. A wise king who chose to surrender and saved millions. A queen who tried to steal the ship's power and vanished. Whole empires rising and falling like waves in an endless ocean. Lynn drifted through them. She saw the truth. The El Yari were not conquerors. They were watchers. Keepers of balance. They created these ships, living machines, to travel across galaxies and judge civilizations, not by strength, not by fear, but by choice. And every time one person was chosen, one human, one alien, one leader, someone who could speak with the ship, someone who would face the truth now. That person was her. "You chose me," she whispered. Why? A new image appeared, her own memory. Young Lynn, sitting under a broken starship wing on Earth, fixing her first engine. She was dirty, tired, and alone, but smiling. Not because someone told her to, but because she wanted to understand. "You were curious," the voice said. "You asked questions, you listened. You searched for meaning, not power." Another. Emmett, her refusing to follow a cruel order in battle. Another, her saving a wounded enemy soldier. Another, her walking away when she could have killed the Emperor's spies. "You watched me all this time?" Lynn said. Double quotes, "Yes. You passed the tests long before you knew they existed." Then a final vision appeared, showed Earth far away, spinning quietly in the darkness. But this time, it was in flames. "No," Lynn said. "This hasn't happened yet. No. This is one of many futures. If the Empire is allowed to rise again, Earth will fall. Lin clenched her fists. Then I'll stop it. That choice is not simple, the voice replied. To stop the Empire fully, you must end the man behind it, the Emperor. But he is not only a man, he is an idea now. He lives in people's fear, in their belief that only force brings peace. Then show me another way, Lin said. And the memory stream responded. The stars moved. She saw herself, standing in front of the broken Empire fleet offering peace. She saw a future where humans and other races worked together, where the ship became a symbol, not a weapon. But the voice warned, this future needs sacrifice. If you stay in your body, the ship will remain a tool. Others may try to steal it again. Then what's the other choice? She asked. Join. With the ship fully, become its heart. Guide it forever. But never return to your life. You will live, but not as Lin Wade. Her chest felt heavy. Her family, her friends, her memories. I won't see them again. No, but you will protect them always. She thought for a long time. Then, slowly, she smiled. I became a pilot to help people, not to be remembered. She touched the stream. Light exploded around her. The voice said one last thing. Then let the galaxy remember not your name, but your choice. On the outside, the ship changed. Its surface glowed with a new pattern, a spiral of stars. The Emperor's fleet had shut down completely. Human ships, watching from afar, saw the silver ship turn, and then disappear into deep space, faster than any signal could follow. Inside the human command ship, the Admiral received one final message. Lin Wade has chosen to become something more. The Empire is finished. A new age has begun. Let it be one of peace, or we will return. No one ever saw Lin Wade again. But stories spread about a ship that watched from the dark, about a voice that spoke in dreams, about a protector without a face, but with a heart that once beat human. The Emperor stood on the bridge of his dark flagship. Everything was broken. His fleet was silent. His ships were frozen. And the ancient silver ship, the one he had tried to control long ago, had vanished. Still, he smiled. They think this is over, he whispered, but they forgot who I am. Behind him, his scientists worked quickly. A secret system deep inside the ship began to activate. It wasn't built from Empire tech. It was built from stolen Elyari code, sir, one officer said. The link to the memory core is ready. But once we begin, there's no turning back. I waited 30 years for this, the Emperor said coldly. Do it. Far away in deep space, the Elyari ship floated in silence. But it was no longer just a ship. Inside its living systems, Lin Wade was now one with it. She was no longer flesh and bone. She was thought. She was voice. She was the heart of the ship. She could see the stars like they were rivers. She could hear the pain of broken worlds. And she could feel something new. A crack growing inside the ship. A virus. A call. The Emperor was reaching in again, trying one last time to steal the ship's soul. And this time, he was using her memories. Inside the Elyar ship's inner stream, Lin saw something terrifying. A shadow. A twisted version of her. Through her memories, touching her life, changing things, her father's voice turned cruel. Her sister's face filled with hate. No, she whispered. The ship's voice echoed. He is using your mind to infect the core. You must fight him. But you cannot do it alone. Then help me, she said. And from the light came images, faces she knew. Her mentor Rael. Her lost squad. Even Darren Voss, her friend who had once betrayed her, appeared beside her. I thought you were gone, she said. We are echoes, Rael replied. But echoes can still stand with you. Together they stepped into the memory storm. The shadow, the Emperor's code, roared, You cannot stop me, girl. You gave up your body. You are a ghost. No, Lin said. I became something. More than. She walked forward, and the shadow attacked. Pain hit her like fire. Regrets, fears, failures. But she held on. One by one, the echoes blocked the shadow strikes, till they shielded her, and Lynn stepped into the heart of the storm. "You're not the only one who knows how to use memories," she said. Then she showed him something. A child reaching for a star. A pilot refusing to kill. A girl standing between two enemies, choosing peace. The shadow screamed. The virus broke apart. The link collapsed. And the Emperor's mind, the part inside the ship, was destroyed. Back on the flagship, alarms exploded, sir. "We've lost control. Core is feeding back through the system." The Emperor gripped the console. "Shut it down. We can't. It's rewriting us." He watched as his screens turned white, glowing with Elyari symbols. His ship began to melt from the inside. No flames, just light. Like truth burning away the lie. The Emperor's voice was the last thing anyone heard. She was just a soldier. From far away, human ships watched as the Emperor's flagship cracked and folded. In on itself. No debris, no explosion, just gone. And then the silver ship returned, quiet and bright, floating above the ruins. A message echoed across all channels. "The Empire is no more. The voice that led it has fallen. Do not build another." Across the galaxy, the message spread. Some wept. Some cheered. Some feared what came next. But one thing was clear. The time of the Emperor had ended. And something new was watching now. Inside the Elyari ship, Lynn stood in silence. She was tired, even as thought. She had seen everything, felt everything. But still, she was here. The ship's voice spoke gently. "You have brought balance. But there's one last choice." "What is it?" Lynn asked. "Stay, and watch over this galaxy forever, or return. For a short time, to say goodbye." Lynn closed her eyes and smiled. For a long time the galaxy was quiet. The Empire had fallen, the battles had ended. And above the ruins of the last war, the silver ship drifted through space like a ghost, a guardian. But inside that ship, something had changed. Lynn Wade, once a human commander, now lived within the ship's heart, no longer flesh and blood, but something greater. She had ended the Emperor. She had stopped the war. And now, she had a final choice. The ship's voice echoed softly. "You may return for a moment, Lynn. Only once. One last goodbye." "Will I be human again?" she asked. "Yes, for a short time. A final sunset before the night." She smiled. "Then take me home. Earth. Blue skies. Cold wind. Children laughing." For the first time in what felt like years, Lynn felt sunlight on her skin. She stood at the edge of a cliff looking down at a peaceful valley. No war. No fleets. No weapons. She was wearing her old flight suit, dusty, patched, real. Her boots pressed into real soil. "Feels strange," she whispered. "Commander Wade," a voice called behind her. She turned. A girl stood there, no older than 15. She had dark eyes, short hair, and a small star-shaped badge on her jacket. "You really came back," the girl said in awe. Lynn smiled. "Do I know you?" "No," the girl said, "but we all know you." Lynn raised an eyebrow. "There are stories," the girl continued, "about a ship in the stars, a voice that stopped the war, a woman who became more than human." Chuckled. "Stories always add too much." The girl stepped closer. "Is it true you made the Empire vanish?" "I didn't make it vanish," Lynn said. "I made a choice. That's all." "Can you stay?" the girl asked quietly. Lynn looked at the sky. The stars were just starting to appear. "No," she said gently. "Not this time. But why?" Bent down, looking the girl in the eyes. "Because someone has to watch," she said. "To make sure no one builds another empire. To protect people like you, people who still believe in peace." The girl nodded slowly. She understood. Lynn stood again, and looked out at the valley one last time. Then, from the sky, a light began to shine. A beam of silver light, soft, not blinding, reached down. Lynn turned to the girl and smiled. "Tell them something for me?" "What?" "Is. Peace is not weakness. It's the strongest thing we've got." Then Lynn walked into the light and vanished. Some say she became a star. Some say she still speaks from the ship. Others believe she watches through every screen, every signal protecting from above. Whatever the truth is, something new began. That day, years later, in the skies over Earth, a station floated white and gold, with flags from every colony and every world. It was called the Watchtower, not a weapon, not a throne, just a symbol of unity, of peace, of memory. Inside, a statue stood at the center, a woman in a flight suit, one hand raised toward the stars, the other holding a cracked Empire helmet. At her feet, the words were carved. She chose peace, and far, far above, beyond sensors, beyond ships, the silver ship still moved, silent, watching, waiting. A new star in the sky.